Good morning, everyone. It is February 22nd, 2018. I'm Eric. You remember about 3-4 weeks ago, if you saw the video, I said that the mainstream media at some point would stop bashing Donald Trump and start praising him, because I thought it was all an act. Here we are now. We're at the Free Thought Project, mainstream media now praising Trump as he flip-flops and promises tyrannical gun control. This one's from Matt Argist. If there's one thing consistent about President Trump, it is the inconsistencies. Since he was elected, Trump has reneged on promises not to go into Afghanistan, putting America first, and eliminating Obamacare. This was all predictable. However, a recent move this week by the Trump administration has even his most loyal lapdogs crying out. Gun control. After the tragedy, or tragic shooting in Florida last week, Trump took to the limelight to begin banning and controlling. Up first on the agenda was the bump fire stock. It didn't matter at all to the president that the bump fire stock wasn't used in the Florida shooting, but he took to moving it to ban it anyway. The White House released a memo Tuesday that indicates Trump has directed the Justice Department to draw up legislation to ban firearm modifiers, including the bump stock used in the Las Vegas massacre. Even though the kind of weapons that were used in the Las Vegas massacre did not need bump stocks. They were already you couldn't put them on them kind of rifles. You didn't use AR-15s. So Fox News then confirmed with the DOJ that the department is acting quickly on the president's order. The department understands this is a priority for the president and has acted quickly to move through the rulemaking process, spokesman Sarah Isgur Flores, I guess, said. We look forward to the results of that process as soon as it is duly completed. This move also got him praise from the Washington Post, who took time out of their day to stop bashing Trump over Russian conspiracy theories and praise him for carrying out his predecessor's move to limit the right of the Americans to protect themselves. As the Washington Post reports, President Trump on Tuesday signaled an openness to modest gun control measures following what he called an evil massacre at a South Florida high school last week that left 17 dead and prompted passionate calls from teenagers for reform. However, the Post went further, alluding to the fact that Trump will likely go further than bump stocks. In private, he has indicated that he may do more, telling advisors and friends in recent days that he is determined to push for some sort of gun control legislation, according to people familiar with the conversations, the Post reported. Trump himself even tweeted out that he wants Republicans and Democrats to come together for gun control. Now, we recall a couple weeks ago, that Donald Trump said he hoped that no major event would be needed to unify the country. There you go. There's your event. Axios also reported that Trump has told associates that he doesn't think high school kids should be able to buy guns and is open to the idea of imposing a minimum purchase age of 21 for guns like those used in the Florida high school massacre. But by that logic, Trump should also raise the age of joining the military to 21 too. According to other reports, Trump is also mulling the idea of banning the private sale of guns altogether. Good luck with that, asshole. Because if I want to buy a gun from a person or sell a gun to a person, I'm going to do it. You see, this is why laws should be broke. This is why none of us should take the laws handed down to us, except for a handful, like thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not rape, these kinds of things. Only laws that need to be in existence, only ones that really should be followed. Otherwise, you're just following the whims of some control freak who wants to steal your money and your property from you. Think about that. I told you a long time ago, Donald Trump is no different than any other president before him. He is a fucking traitorous scumbag like the rest. This move to push for gun control should come as no surprise, as the Free Thought Project reported in December, in an example of how both parties are willing to completely compromise their principles to further the agenda of usurping your rights. The Republican-controlled House voted to federalize gun laws across the country. Not only was this bill, which makes it easier for the federal government to disarm citizens, voted for by the alleged pro-Second Amendment Republicans, but it was also supported by the NRA. Two groups that are supposedly pro-Second Amendment. Well, they're pro-Second Amendment as long as it's not in your hands. So why is it that conservatives are freaking out and the liberal mainstream media is now praising Trump? Well, Trump, just like every other president in the last 100 years, is subject to the status quo, the ruling elite, and the deep state establishment. The last three presidents, in fact, have explicitly run on platforms on non-intervention, only to be elected and flip-flop on every one of their promises. The rights of citizens to protect themselves become second chair to the desire of the police state to force citizen compliance. And even if Trump was genuine on his promises, there'd be no way he would have ever been able to follow through. The unelected deep state in Washington has simply become far too powerful to be charged, which is why sites like the Free Thought Project and anti-media activist posts, We Are Change, Storm Clouds Gathering, the Colbert Report, and others within the alternative media have been predicting this since day one. And of course I did too. Okay, one more paragraph and then we're going to wrap this up and move to the next. As in the case after every craze single, it is the case after every single time a crazed maniac causes a tragedy using firearms, politicians and their supporters come out of the woodwork to demand Americans give up their guns. Sadly, as is the case every single time, the citizens who support giving up their right to self-defense miss the big picture. When law-abiding citizens turn in their guns, only the government and criminals have guns. And believe me, I'm a criminal. I'll have guns. Hope everyone has a great day. Remember, kill the state and live free.